Hello, guys. So, I'm an INTP, and today I'm going to talk about my experience with INFPs. Now, I know INFPs are very emotional and they're pretty sensitive, so if you're an INFP watching this, please take this with a pinch of salt. First of all, you don't have to be like this, you could be, but this could just be the individual that I'm thinking about and them representing the entire INFP for me. So far, at least. And also, you guys are, as I said, extremely sensitive, so just also keep in mind that I'm an INTP, and therefore, whatever I'm saying is from the point of view of a thinker, not from a feeler, because that's the only difference that we have. Anyway, so let's start. No, let's not start yet. I'm going to state both the pros and cons, what I personally feel are pros and cons about this personality type. So, as I said, just take it with a pinch of salt, a grain of salt, whatever they say. Anyway, so INFPs. I love INFPs. Let's start off with that. I think they're so amazing. Their way of thinking is so abstract, and it's really, they're so idealistic. It's, I think these radiate an overwhelming sense of positivity in general, which I really can appreciate because when you're feeling down, you know that an INFP is gonna come to the rescue because they're so nice and sometimes too nice, but for the most part they're so nice, and they care so much about so many people, which as an INTP you have such a hard time imagining, because it's like I think INTPs are a little more selfish. Most personality types are more selfish than INFPs from what I've observed. INFPs are so amazing to have conversations with. It's like an INTP has really found their mate. It's really mate as in like, oh, their mate, and it's so amazing because not many people get INTPs, but INFPs really do understand the thinking or the mindset of INTPs. They really, they think about how INTPs think and really mold themselves to talk to an INTP the way a normal INTP would. What am I saying? No. They mold themselves in order to have a good conversation with INTPs, which I really appreciate. But this is not even about INTPs, it's about INFPs. They're so great to have conversations with, and they focus on the bigger picture. I think it makes them like very good at politics, and they're very open-minded, which is amazing. But they focus on larger issues, like issues of society, and they really don't care about what people around them have much to say about them. They're more, inwardly inclined. Like many INTPs, they're also in their head a lot, and they're just amazing to have conversations with. Especially now, INFPs are. They don't like shallow talk. They don't like small talk. For them as well, it's like I'd rather do without it. They really like getting deep into the surface, and I think INFPs are difficult to open up. Like, they are definitely hard to crack, but they're not that hard to crack. So, what I'm trying to say is that I think INFPs are very gullible, they're very naive, and they don't, they think everything's a nice place. Like, they're very naive. They're so genuine, and they think the entire world's made of nice people, and only good things will happen. It's a very idealistic point of view, and then when something wrong happens, it just completely shatters them, and so they get into this like um, depression sort of thing. I think INFPs are very prone to suicidal thoughts and depression and all that, but it's just they're so optimistic and they're so idealistic that they don't really see everything else around them. It's like their eyes are completely blinded by the happiness and cheerfulness that they have within themselves. So it's it's just they're too nice, they're too gullible, and they don't really see the entire picture. They'll see a part of it, and they'll just an INTP, they analyze the good and the bad. I think an INFP really just likes to analyze on the positive part of it rather than the entire scenario. Then I they're as I said, they're just way too idealistic for the real world. So they also that way don't care that much about society at all. They don't care about the people around them. I mean um they're they're very entitled to their own opinions. They don't stick by people a lot, or they'll listen to people, but they also have their own opinions, which they would, you know, they have the sense of individuality in them, which a few of the signs might not that much. Um, Now, a few things that I'm not a fan of is that they think they take things too personally, which I guess it kind of makes sense because they're the feeling types. So you could say something to them, and they'll really get affected by it, and they'll be like, "Wow, like why would you say that?" Um, Whereas we didn't really mean it in like a sort of way that they're taking it in, or they just tend to get very personal, and they take things to heart a lot, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just for someone for I think most thinking types. I don't know if it's most thinking types, but for thinking types, we tend to focus on honesty and brutalness, and we're very truthful. So it kind of hurts them a little bit, but um, I think they're relatively good with criticism. They take things personally, but um, they're very good with constructive criticism. Like, at least from what I've observed, they just they're very good at it. Like the one I'm thinking about, if I tell her, she'll be like, yeah, you're right. So they're just very nice, and they're good with constructive criticism. Something they're not very good at analyzing, as I've already said. They only look at the positive side. They do not look at the entire picture. They don't see the positive and the negative. They mostly just care about the good things that'll happen, which is amazing, but to a certain extent. And they're very hardworking and genuine. And yeah, and one of the things, they get too attached too easily. Or I don't know if it's too easily, they just get attached to a very, I want to say, intense state of being attached. I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's like they just get attached way too much. It's clingy. It's to a point of being clingy, I think. When they see, of course, when they see a reciprocation, they feel amazing about it, but it's just they start expecting a lot, they start hoping for a lot. I spit all over the place. Yeah. They expect a lot, they hope a lot. They really want to um, take it somewhere. They don't like wasting their time and for them it's like, of course it's a learning experience, but like they try to make as much as they can out of the particular situation that they're provided in. So it's like if I talk to them for 2 days straight, they'll probably be like, so we good friends yet or something. But for me it's just like, hey, I'm talking to her for 2 days and we have nice conversations, but that's about it. But I think they really like to kick it up a notch. Um, they don't like the normal labels, but they like to label things. They like to establish grounds and basis. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, sometimes they can get way too attached, and I think so far that's all I know about INFPs. Those are an INTPs point of view for an INFP. Hope you liked it. If you did, good for you. And tell me if I was accurate. Okay, see ya later. Bye. Okay, yeah. See you later, alligators. INTP gators. I don't know.